Chapter 1 begins with a young Noah, Lance, Uni, and Joran racing to the Queen's anniversary celebration. The atmosphere is festive as the plaza is filled with many people walking around and fireworks blasting off in the sky. Everything seems to be going great until the clock strikes 12. Noah finds time itself begins to start slowing down until everything around him freezes. And then he looks at the sky and can't believe his eyes. What follows are annihilation events that, well, annihilate pieces of the world. Not a lot is known about these yet. We then move on to an epic battle where we learn the current state of affairs. Kevis and Agnes are two nations stuck in an endless war. They survive not only on food and water, but life itself. In order to live, they must kill each other to lengthen their flame clocks. Pretty sadistic if you ask me. We then move on to our heroes. There's Noah, who manages to keep the same haircut since he was young, his best mate Lance, who wants something a bit meatier, and the foul-mouthed Uni.
The difference is, you're an asshole. What's nothing difference? I mean, feathers are a bitch to dry. See? You can't tell your ass from your elbow. Doesn't that make you the spoon?
Well, by Nintendo standards, that is.
Things were easier. Then stay awake, you spoon.
Yeah.
Apparently, these guys are too cool to follow the standard army attire. After a long-fought battle, Kevis is finally able to defeat the Agnian forces. We cut to the Queen of Kevis randomly standing in front of a bunch of tanks. Inside the tank contains what looks like an embryo or something, I don't know, which then turns into a real girl. Similar to my life, it seems that intercourse isn't a thing here. Anyways, we go back in time as Noah narrates how they all came to be. They're born as soldiers whose purpose is to destroy the Agnians. However, I don't know what's going on with Joran here. He seems to be the only one out of shape compared to the others. Someone definitely messed up. In a drill which seems like an actual fight to the death, the gang loses to another unit. Lance blames Joran for saving him because he sacrificed himself in order to heal Lance, which cost them the match. Noah asks Lance to apologize to Joran, but Lance is like, whatever. It's okay, Lance, I'm sure you're not going to regret this later. We learn here that each person has a lifespan of 10 years, which they call terms. Life starts at term 1 and ends at their 10th year. Yeah, I still don't get it either. Those who do reach their 10th term are honored in a special service called a homecoming. Here, soldiers are sent on by the Queen, who the internet pretty much guessed who it was. Anyways, the homecoming is considered the highest honor. We are transported to the present where Noah is sending off his fallen comrades. Lance is annoyed that Noah plays for the Agnians, while Noah makes the argument that they don't have an officer to send them off, probably because they killed them.
Yeah, they all bit the dust thanks to us.
Once they are done bickering, their transport ditches them and the group is forced to walk back to their camp. They hit the bath in what seems like a scene from Starship Troopers. I have to say this game is definitely a lot tamer compared to Xenoblade Chronicles 2. If you know, you know. Uni and Noah reminisce about the past and the loss of their friend Joran. Noah is worried more about Lance, who feels bad for never apologizing to him before his death. The next morning, the gang is awakened by an alarm. Kevis receives a royal decree from the castle and was given a new special mission to intercept a mysterious airship. Noah feels uneasy about the whole thing, but Moamba chimes in that Noah's intuition is never wrong. Riku adds that they should listen to Noah. Aw, what a nice snow pond. The group stops to discuss Moamba and how he's going to reach his homecoming in about a month. I like this kid's attitude and can't wait to see how his character grows throughout the game. Anyways, the ship is shot down and the group races to reach its location. As they arrive at the crash site, they are met by an Agnes squad consisting of Mio, Senna, and Tyon. A crazy battle begins between the two equally matched groups. The airship's sole survivor, Guernica Van Damme, intervenes and stops the fighting. Van Damme claims to know who the true enemy is. Luckily, he seems to knock some sense into Noah and Mio. This guy seems so wise and I can't wait to see him as a mentor throughout the whole game. I hope he never dies. Well, there goes that. Unfortunately, Van Damme is struck down by a member of Mobius known as D. Here we find out the enemy is actually the English alphabet, as each member of Mobius goes only by the letter of their first initial. D holds Moamba and Hacked as prisoners and ends up killing them. No, not Moamba, and that other dude we are just introduced to. In a fit of rage, the party goes after D, but they are easily blasted away. As he's about to deal a fatal blow, Van Damme attempts to destroy D, but D is too powerful and ends up easily defeating him. Noah charges in an attempt to save him, and thus the battle begins. The gang tries their best to hold D back, but he's too powerful for them. Van Damme is able to activate the Ouroboros stone he was smuggling, imbuing Noah and Mio's team with its power. Mio and Noah inadvertently interlink together into an Ouroboros. During the transition, Mio and Noah merge into one being and are able to see each other's memories. I'm glad I never had to do this with anyone. I mean, imagine Mio seeing my internet history.
Why did you do it?
Just like every bad guy in movies and television, for some reason D is compelled to explain to the group what just happened. After giving information about Ouroboros, the group is able to push D back and retreats, but before he leaves, D sends out the bat signal as the rest of Mobius looks on. They help a mortally wounded Van Damme to lie down. They're surprised at how old he looks, seeing as how no one in the colonies ever lives past 20. Van Damme informs the group that he's 60 years old and that this is how things should be, which is really depressing when you think about it. It's also revealed that Mio is near the end of her 10th term and she only has 3 months left to live. Van Damme instructs the party to head for a place called the City, located at Sword March, where they will find more answers. Finally, he disperses into ether and Noah and Mio send him off. I'm not crying, you're crying. After learning nothing, everyone almost begins to fight each other again, but Noah is able to de-escalate the situation and they all go back to their respective bases. Noah, Lance, Uni, and Riku travel back to Colony 9, but on their way they encounter Keva's forces who begin to attack the group. Confused as to what the heck is going on, they end up falling back. In the next scene we find Mio, Taiyan, Senna, and Manana also being attacked by their fellow comrades. They all end up returning to the crash site. Even though they're all still wary of each other, they are able to piece together that they are being attacked due to D's bat signal, which made their comrades turn against them. After some awkward introductions, everyone looks for some supplies. They find new clothes where the women have no trouble changing, but the guys are embarrassed to do the same and run away. So wait, they're totally okay getting naked and taking baths together, but when it comes to changing clothes, they become shy?
What spooked them? They could have just changed here.
At camp, Noah and Mio converse about life. Mio dwells on how much time she has left and makes Mio sad as a result. Trouble, I see. The next morning, they find Van Damme's dog tags. Uni is happy to finally know his name, and Noah adds that they should always remember him as the man who gave them a goal and the ability to choose. In the second chapter, the focus shifts to Noah's Ark. No, not the biblical one. As the group embarks on a new mission to discover the city of Sword March, where they'll find some answers. Noah has always felt that fighting is not his path. In fact, everyone thinks it's weird that he's not into the whole killing thing.
Why are you like this, Noah?
Even from a young age, Noah stands out, liking a unique blade that everyone else seems to possess. His inability to summon his sword becomes apparent when the school bully Garvel breaks his sword in a confrontation. Undeterred, Noah expresses his fear of being a burden to the group. Lance disagrees and they turn to Riku for a new weapon. Riku presents Lucky 7, a magical sword crafted by 7 legendary swordsmith pawn over 7 years from 7 different types of steel, an unparalleled blade. And he offers it to Noah. No biggie. Despite the magnitude of the offer, Noah declines, deeming it too strong for him. Riku challenges him, questioning whether he wants his friends to perish. Noah responds that he doesn't need an overpowering sword to protect his friends. Riku then prompts Noah to call his blade then, exposing Noah's lack of a fighting spirit. To everyone's surprise, Noah can summon his blade, but his reluctance stems from a deeper fear. Not of fighting, but of the person he might become. Damn, that's pretty deep. Common verity, no pound my Riku, understanding Noah's internal struggle, insists that he deserves a powerful sword. Noah accepts it, concealing it as a sheath ready to unveil its strength only in the most dire situations. Noah opens up to Mio, sharing the entire story of how he got Lucky 7 and even his desire to change the name. As Mio urges him to reveal the new name, Noah remains cryptic, leaving her and me in suspense. Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed too, Mio. In this moment of ambiguity, Noah reveals to Mio that she is the second person to notice Lucky 7. So who's the first? Enter Silvercoat Ethel. Show off. Ethel, the esteemed commander of Colony 4, stands as a living legend. She achieved the remarkable feat of elevating her colony status to silver during her 3rd term, showcasing her prowess as a veteran soldier with unparalleled strength. Despite her remarkable achievements, Colony 4 has faced ongoing challenges since its demotion to dirt rank. The origin of the struggle traces back to a pivotal moment in history when Ethel faced off against a formidable, smoldering Kamaravi in an epic battle. Kamaravi's furnace experienced a malfunction, likely due to maintenance failure. Rather than seizing the opportunity to secure victory by finishing him off, Ethel made a fateful decision. She spared his life. This act of compassion, while noble, inadvertently set in motion the challenges that Colony 4 now grapples with. Meanwhile, we arrive at what appears to be a theatrical setting, with Console D taking center stage. However, the atmosphere quickly shifts as Console P seizes the opportunity to mock D for the recent defeat at the hands of the gang. The room interrupts into a cacophony of bickering until Zed interjects, commanding everyone to silence and delving into a discourse on fate. Anyways, Console K is designated as the big bad boss the group will face. Console K graces Colony 4 with his presence, seeking an audience with Ethel. During their encounter, he cryptically tasks her with the mission of eliminating a troublesome group of individuals. While Ethel initially assumes he refers to the notorious Agnes forces, K divulges that the targets are renegades from both factions who must be eradicated. Emphasizing the gravity of the assignment, K warns Ethel not to falter in this crucial endeavor. In a moment of eerie revelation, he unveils a unique feature, his right eye adorned with an infinity symbol. This emblem echoes the same symbol Console D once illuminated in the sky, which we can now assume K has taken over Ethel's mind along with Colony 4. As our squad marches toward their destination, a sudden ambush by Colony 4 forces throws them into chaos. With this huge amount of soldiers and machines, it's hard not to wonder how the group didn't hear them coming. Anyways, Ethel leads the charge, viewing her former comrades as monstrous foes. Noah desperately pleads with her to halt the assault, but she remains oblivious, forcing the group into a hasty retreat. Ethel, however, is able to catch up, leaving them no choice but to confront her in battle. After a grueling fight, it becomes evident that Ethel is an unstoppable force, showcasing exceptional combat prowess. Senna proposes the idea of Noah and Mio merging into Ouroboros, yet Noah hesitates, expressing concern that their combined power might prove too overwhelming and inadvertently lead to Ethel's demise. Suddenly, the enigmatic black fog interferes with Ethel's iris, prompting Noah to make another heartfelt plea. As she starts to regain her senses, Consul K enters the scene and knocks her unconscious, and a battle commences. Although the group manages to defeat Consul K, he then morphs into a formidable form, siphoning ether from the flame clock to heal, but as a result, he kills the innocent soldiers of Colony 4 in order to gain that health. Despite K's warning that their attacks harm their allies, the group persists in attacking him. Seriously guys, you gotta stop hitting him. In a moment of revelation, Noah begins to understand the significance of the colony's flame clock, realizing it could be the linchpin connecting to the console to his life support. In a critical moment, Noah directs Lance to offer cover as he heads towards the flame clock. Anticipating their strategy, K unleashes a barrage of laser beams, threatening Noah and Mio. Just as the lasers are about to hit them, Lance and Senna merge together, transforming into the formidable Ouroboros. Mirroring the bond between Mio and Loa, Lance and Senna share glimpses of significant moments from each other's lives during their fusion. The outcome manifests as a colossal tank-like entity, generating a massive shield that effectively protects Noah and Mio from harm. Yet even with their Ouroboros form, the gang struggles, prompting Uni and Taion to merge into their own Ouroboros form to save their friends. They seamlessly meld into a celestial entity, radiating an ethereal and angelic presence. Endowed with extraordinary healing abilities, this harmonious being becomes the beacon of support for the other four. Amidst the chaos, Noah and Mio form up and seize an opportunity to head to the flame clock but are unable to destroy it. Noah recalls what Rico told him about how Lucky 7 can slice the armor of a Pharaonis. Noah and Mio make another attempt, but this time they cancel the interlink and Noah unsheaths Lucky 7 and annihilates the flame clock. With the flame clock obliterated, K completely loses his healing ability, paving the way for a united final assault. K is defeated and unmasked, and it turns out he's just another old guy. Ethel regains consciousness and Noah and Mio, in a peculiar move, bid farewell to K. I guess it's one of those Noah being Noah moments.
Weirdo. I concur.
The third chapter follows more of Taion's arc this time, and it kicks off with a young Taion facing accusations of cowardice. Unveiling a cautious plan for attacking Colony 13, he succumbs to peer pressure, opting for a more aggressive approach presented to higher-ups Nimue and Commander Izzard. Izzard, expressing trust in Taion's plan, sets the stage for an unfortunate turn of events. As predictable as a girl saying she won't go out with me, the ambitious strategy falls apart, resulting in a surprise attack that decimates Taion's unit. In a selfless act, Nimue sacrifices herself, allowing Taion time to escape. As the party continues its journey, Taion's attention is captivated by a Sophronia tree, a symbol that resonates with memories of Nimue. In a touching moment, Nimue hands the young Taion a photo of the tree, prompting his puzzled reaction. Taion questions the gesture, and Nimue reveals that the photo holds sentimental value for her, expressing a desire to revisit the tree someday. He shares with the group that Nimue was his mentor, teaching him strategy and the art of Mondo combat. No, not Mortal Kombat, Mondo combat. Taion remains curious about why she gave him the photo, and Noah suggests that perhaps Nimue wanted to share the cherished memory with him. Soon, the group stumbles upon an ancient battleground, delving into the remnants of the Pharaonis scattered across the site. Uni comes face to face with a doppelganger from Colony 18, triggering vivid recollections of a fierce battle and a tense encounter with a Mobius. Meanwhile, Noah discovers the flame clock, and Uni astutely identifies it as a prestigious gold rank. Taion shrewdly notes the eerie absence of Agnian casualties, with only remnants of Kavesi soldiers lingering. As the night settles in, Uni grapples with the haunting war memories, and the Mobius Mobius that ended her life bears a striking resemblance to D, prompting the suspicion that it might indeed be him. Also, what's up with this running style? The following morning unfolds with the group strategizing their upcoming route. Tyon harbors suspicions that the territory they must traverse falls under the jurisdiction of Colony Lambda, the very colony he once called home. He tells the group about nearby tunnels as a potential alternative. Consensus is quickly reached that this is the optimal path. However, as Tyon delves into the potential hazards of this choice, he begins to waver. Lance dismisses the concerns, urging the group forward by suggesting that remaining at the campsite forever isn't a viable option. The situation bears a striking resemblance to the chapter's beginning, where Tyon's cautious plan was initially met with the resistance from his comrades, who sought a more aggressive approach. Sensing tension, Mio, pulling seniority, intervenes, urging everyone to simmer down.
Sounds like little Miss Senior's decided to pull rank, eh? Roger that, Mom. Oh, shut up already.
The members of Mobius reconvene in the theater to discuss K's unsuccessful attempt to destroy Ouroboros. Amidst the banter, D indulges in some boastful talk, only to be reminded by P of his hasty retreat from the party. D's like, well, at least I'm still breathing. Consul J interrupts, expressing a desire to confront the party alone. In a unanimous agreement, J makes a dramatic exit. Consul J engages in a conversation with Commander Izzard, instructing him to handle the band of traitors. Yet, Izzard, displaying wisdom, advocates for a more measured approach, suggesting that perhaps questioning them should precede any decisive action. Jay ignores him and momentarily considers the use of mind control akin to Case tactics. However, in a surprising turn of events, he chooses an unseen alternative. What in the snuff just happened? In the Urian tunnels, the group find themselves ambushed by Agnes troops, employing a smokescreen tactic reminiscent of Colony 13's past maneuvers. This forces Tyon to redirect the party's escape down the same river he once used, ultimately leading them to the Great Cop Falls. Upon arrival, they encountered the Pharaonis of Colony Lambda, Commander Izzard confirming that the soldiers' tactics were deliberately chosen to mimic the circumstances that led to Nimue's tragic demise. The intention? To weigh Tyon down with guilt. Dang, talk about hardcore revenge. I should be taking notes here. Tyon shoulders the weight of responsibility, acknowledging his role in a series of unfortunate events. With regret in his voice, Tyon confesses his actions have led the commander, a once kind man, into employing a deadly enemy tactic that had previously claimed Nimue's life. Tyon's actions have led Izzard to desperation, who is now determined to kill Tyon. Commander Izzard concedes to Tyon's assessment, admitting that Tyon's past has returned to haunt him. The ensuing battle intensifies as desperation consumes the commander, who unleashes a barrage of attacks in all directions. Tyon, desperate to prevent further bloodshed, implores Izzard to cease his onslaught. A laser beam is about to strike Tyon. However, Uni is able to save him just in the nick of time. As they plummet, Tyon merges with Uni, assuming control of the awe-inspiring Ouroboros form. Witnessing pivotal moments from each other's histories, Uni and Tyon undergo a stunning transformation, culminating in a visually striking and powerful entity. Tyon employs illusions to confuse Izzard. A massive rock seemingly crushes Izzard, only to reveal that it was another illusion. Senna's like, well, if Tyon can do it, I can do it too. Senna merges with Lance and the result is like, I don't know, a cat with claw-like wings? Whatever it is, it looks really cool. Together, the duo uses sheer strength to overpower the turtle-like Pharaonis. The finishing moment unfolds as Mio merges with Noah, revealing her unique Ouroboros form, another cat-like entity on rollerblades. In a spectacular display, Noah and Mio cancel the interlink just like before, and Noah blocks a laser beam with his hand and delivers a final blow to the Pharaonis, obliterating its flame clock and bringing an end to the intense confrontation. Commander Izzard steps forward to confront the party directly. Tyon, like a fool, offers himself as a sacrifice in an attempt to appease Izzard, telling him if it settles the debt he owes to Nimue, he'd do it. However, Izzard undergoes a bizarre transformation, turning into a pile of mud. The enigmatic lone consul emerges, and even before revealing himself, his voice triggers recognition from the party. He is none other than Joran, also known as Consul J, who had indeed met his demise but now stands as a formidable Mobius. Consul J wields a unique power where he's able to transmute memories into mud puppets, beings convinced they are the genuine article, and uninhibited in revealing concealed truth. He showcases this ability by dispatching the remaining Agnes troops, all revealed to be mere mud puppets. I tell ya, Jay is one sick son of a. He then launches an assault on the party. After defeating Jay, we are treated to a vivid flashback. The circumstances of Joran's own demise unfold, culminating in his ultimate sacrifice for Lance's sake. Consul J believes this makes him superior to them all. Content with his display, he decides he's had his fill of amusement and departs. Nearby, the party locates the real inhabitants of Colony Lambda, largely unharmed. The real Izzard engages in a heartfelt conversation with Tyon about Nimue, providing him with some much-needed solace. Izzard dismisses the notion that Tyon is a coward, labeling it as complete nonsense. He attributes to Tyon a quality more fitting, considerate, almost to a fault. Izzard assures Taion that he simply acted upon a comrade's advice. Izzard shares with Taion that Nimue expressed a sentiment. If Taion were to lead them and secure victory through his kindness, it would have been something she would have cherished witnessing. Reflecting on the nature of those who pass away before their homecoming, Taion confides in Uni. He speculates that the ritual of sending off departed souls initially served as a profound method to explain the harmony of the world. It imparts a reassuring sense of security, fostering the belief that their departed loved ones are watching over them from the celestial realm. This ritual not only assuages feelings of guilt and loss, but also takes on a deeper philosophical dimension. Taion delves into the profound notion that individuals are told their life originates from the Queen and ultimately returns to her. While this concept may bring solace to those fortunate enough to experience a homecoming, the fate of those who fall on the battlefield remains shrouded in mystery, a question left unanswered. Okay, this hurts my head.
This is all going way over my head.
In the midst of all the craziness of what's going on, Chapter 4 takes a closer look into Mio's arc, shedding light on the heavy toll her looming death is taking, both physically and emotionally. Physically, Mio's body is wrestling with a decline in motor functions, albeit very small things are starting to happen to her. This is evident where Mio slips and Noah catches her, and there's another instance where she's washing dishes with Lance, and she ends up dropping a plate by accident. Physically, things are bad enough, but it's the emotional roller coaster that hits even harder. Early in the chapter, Mio seems very casual about her whole situation. While out looking for food, Manana, Uni, and Mio come across a bright fig tree. However, Manana stresses because the bright figs won't be ready to eat for another year. Mio suggests they can return in a year to enjoy a bright fig, but Manana's like, won't you be dead by then? It takes a moment for Uni to grasp the gravity of Mio's words, and she urges Mio to deal with her emotions rather than maintaining detachment, or else she'll just get everyone feeling guilty. Mio admits her flustered feelings about her demise and discloses a deeper struggle tied to her existence. She recounts the sacrifice of her friend Miyabi, who saved Mio's life, leaving Mio feeling like she's living on borrowed time. Uni raises the hypothetical scenario of Miyabi turning into an enemy like Joran, prompting Mio to express her desire to understand her friend's motives, same as Lance. As Mio begins to cry, "Aw, Mio, don't cry, you're gonna make me cry." She acknowledges her acceptance of whatever reason Miyabi might have, realizing she can't dwell on her own struggles while Noah, her de facto partner, charges forward with determination. Well, luckily for Mio, she still has time to find out the truth at Sword March, and no way anything else can go wrong, and for Spark's sake. The group encounters an injured Borealis, where he divulges the crazy events that transpired at Kevis Castle. Ethel and Borealis make their way to the Regal Chambers, where they find the Queen of Kevis and Consul N, who looks awfully familiar. Jeez, who could that be? N isn't just any consul, he is the head honcho and also recognized as the Golden Consul, probably because he's a consul wearing gold armor. In a chilling unveiling, N exposes the Annihilator, a cutting-edge weapon harnessing groundbreaking advancements in the application of the annihilation effect. The Queen of Kevis reveals a sinister twist in their plans. The next target is not Agnes, but rather Colony 4. The reason Colony 4 is a target is because Ethel came into contact with Ouroboros, and N implies that they have been contaminated by them, and thus must be annihilated. The Queen emphasizes their nation's creed, stating, "Who struggles not in life deserves not to live." I guess that means me then, and grants Ethel a final chance, instructing her to destroy Ouroboros or else Colony 4 will be obliterated. Acknowledging the cunning nature of their enemy, N sends Consul O, P, and Ethel's rival, Smoldering Kamaravi from Agnes, to help with Ethel's new mission. In private, Ethel shares the castle's schematics, including those for the Annihilator, intending to find a way to resist. She tasks Borealis with informing Noah's group of the Queen's lethal intent. With this new information, the group postpones their journey to Sword March, deeming the castle crisis, especially with the Annihilator weapon in play, as more pressing. Noah, concerned about their imminent arrival at their destination, suggests a final equipment check, prompting Mio to make a sarcastic comment about the luxury of having time. Frustrated with the change of plans and the perceived slow pace, Mio questions what the heck is she even doing and expresses impatience. Noah attempts to reassure her, emphasizing the importance of their mission to the castle for the safety of the colonies. However, his efforts backfire, leading Mio to run off.
What the spark?
I hear you, Noah. Senna, overhearing the exchange, tells Noah about Mio's fear and the need for reassurance, asserting that Mio just needed to vent. Senna tells Noah she thought he was sharper than this, and that he better have a good apology for later on. And then she runs away as well.
What the spark?
What are your thoughts on this, Lance?
Yeah, you can count me out for any of that.
Also, apparently giving a high five to Taion offends him.
What? Sorry, but I refuse to debase myself like this.
Debase myself? Okay, you schmuck. The following morning, Mio and Noah reconnect in a heartfelt conversation where Mio shares the story of her late partner Miyabi. She tells Noah how Miyabi told her to keep living and to live life in her stead. However, the crazy thing about this is that Mio is older than Miyabi, who still had a lot of time left. Mio suggests swapping flutes with Noah to extend the use of Miyabi's flute, reasoning that Noah will still be around. Noah agrees and they proceed to exchange flutes, symbolizing a shared commitment to honoring Miyabi's memory. On the way to the castle, the group encounters Ethel and Kamaravi, each piloting their unique Varanus, with P&O overseeing the situation. Faced with no alternative, the group is compelled to confront both formidable adversaries at the same time. An intense battle ensues with Noah and Mio engaging Ethel, their attacks futile against her impenetrable defenses. Lance, Senna, Uni, and Taion join forces against the resilient Kamaravi, who skillfully deflects their every assault. Growing impatient, O attempts to control Kamaravi, leading to a moment of chaos as Kamaravi takes out his own eye to resist O's influence. Now free from the console's control, Ethel and Kamaravi turn their attention towards P&O and what the snuff is going on? You guys, why are you fighting each other? In a weird turn of events, the now liberated warriors decide to fight each other on their terms for the first time. Console P, understandably frustrated as I am, tries to exert control by sapping their life force. The group begins to go after the consoles, but Ethel blocks their intervention, declaring it too late, and in a shocking turn, Ethel and Kamaravi ultimately deliver a fatal blow to each other, concluding their destinies. So I guess they both win? Or lose? I don't know. In a desperate move, P and O resort to plan B, interlinking with each other. They begin to talk smack, but Mio isn't having any of it. With power like that, do they even need to merge to become Ouroboros? Mio tells them to stop toying with their lives as if it's some big game. The group, fueled by heightened conviction, retaliates fiercely against P and O. Their relentless assault pushes P and O to the brink of exploding, indicated by the telltale sound of prolonged interlinking. Taion detects energy levels akin to an impending annihilation event, prompting the group to flee for safety. In a race against time, Noah and Mio break their interlink mid-air and drive Lucky 7 into the ground, causing the earth beneath P&O to vanish before triggering a massive explosion. With Mobius vanquished, Noah and Mio bid a farewell to Ethel and Kamaravi. The next morning, Noah and Mio start with their usual banter.
Well, your eyes are red.
Hey, shut up. So what if they are?
Aw, cute couple alert. Anyways, with the big fight over, Mio has a renewed sense of purpose. The group finally arrives at the hovering reef surrounding Keva's castle. Here the party deliberates on the possibility of their plans being anticipated by the enemy. Trouble, I see. Taion then shares that he has scrutinized the Annihilator strategy, identifying the weaknesses and formulating a plan for its destruction. The group finally reaches the Annihilator. However, D and J block their path. Upon seeing them, Uni receives the same vision of the Mobius that killed her past self. D and J split up and D finally reveals his face. And it turns out to be nobody, really. Amidst the fierce battle, the party contends with the moving and charging cannon. As Uni is fighting D, she hesitates as D pretty much almost confirms he was the Mobius that killed her past self. However, Uni is able to overcome her fear and assist Taion in targeting and destroying the Annihilator's vulnerable point, leading to its collapse and subsequent explosion. Although D and J manage to escape, the party successfully thwarts the Annihilator's destructive plans. With their mission complete, it's time for the group to make an exit. However, the group gets a bit lost though with the schematics they were given and somehow end up in the throne room. Damn it, Boliaris, you had one job. They end up running into orange pods where everyone is born, and Noah spots a young Ethel in one of them. Melia Antiqua, the queen of Kevas, makes an appearance along with N. Melia goes into this monologue about how Ouroboros will just destroy the world and how they must be taken out. The fight begins, but there's an impenetrable barrier in the way. Noah begins to grasp for Lucky 7. However, before he does, the queen starts breaking down and she's revealed to be a robot. As N steps forward, Noah starts to get a major headache. Fortunately for the group, N is interrupted by an attack by the Lost Numbers. A squad of gray ships crash into the throne room and steal a bunch of pods. The party uses this opportunity to escape, leaving behind N, who looks a lot like Noah, and also Consul M, who looks a lot like Mio.
What the spark?
What the spark indeed, Noah. Well, I'm at a complete loss. In chapter 5, we get to learn a little bit more about Senna's arc. One thing that stands out is that, well, she could be super awkward.
Did I do good out there?
What was that?
Huh? What's that? Did I say something? Lovely weather we're having. I don't know I'd say lovely. Bit overcast. Oh, you're right. Silly clouds. Guess I had my head in them.
Senna's not really confident about herself, and it seems that she's always seeking approval. This all begins at the flashback where Senna finds herself the target of bullying from fellow Colony Gamma soldiers.
This looks more your style.
Totally. Right?
I don't get it. What's wrong with guns? How's that even a diss? Meanwhile, all eyes are on Mio as she trains, leaving everyone in awe of her impressive fighting skills. Senna and Mio decide to grab a meal together. Amidst bites of food, Mio imparts valuable advice to Senna, encouraging her to embrace her true self. As they make their getaway, Senna quietly asks if she did well in the recent skirmish. Lance is like, huh? And Senna's like, what? Lance tells Senna that she appears so lonely. Peeking into Senna's memories, he notes that she's always surrounded by friends, yet somehow she seems all alone. Unbeknownst to Senna, who misinterprets Lance's concern as labeling her as a loner, she actually aspires to be the spirited heroine, or one-track muzzlehead as she puts it. Senna, feeling a wave of frustration, misconstrues Lance's intentions as prying into her business and that she's actually fine. The party eventually arrives in Sword March, only to find themselves encircled by the mysterious Lost Numbers. Amidst the tension, they come face to face with Monica, the leader of the Lost Numbers. They also encounter Shania, who, much to their surprise, turns out to be the mysterious figure that had been keeping tabs on them all along. In the heart of the city, the group faces intense scrutiny from its diverse inhabitants, ranging from weathered faces to curious children who seem like an entirely new breed to Manana. The group crosses paths with the bitter Ouroboros candidates, resentful of the group gaining powers from Van Damme. Monica then leads them to the cradles, unveiling them as growth modules that birth the Kevis and Agnes soldiers. Shockingly, she discloses that they were conscripted from birth, raised to kill each other and steal life energy. This life energy fuels the flame clock, sustaining Mobius. The cradle recycle fallen soldiers' lives, binding the soldiers in servitude to perpetuate Mobius. Even in death, there's no escape, as fallen warriors are reborn without memories. The group enters a maternity ward where they experience their first encounter with a baby, with Tyon showing an unusual level of excitement. The doctor's unexpected proposition about witnessing the creation of life elicits a mix of reactions. Monica guides the group about the cycle of life, revealing the simplicity of human existence: birth, finding a spouse, aging, and death. Monica brings the gang to a room of the founding members of Ouroboros. Monica emphasizes their quest to identify the true queens who are sleeping somewhere, waiting to reclaim their world from Mobius. The following morning, Monica outlines a mission to break Gondor out of prison at Agnes Castle, who holds crucial information about the location of the true queens. With an annual mass execution of prisoners at Hope's Rest approaching during the next eclipse in a month, the group faces a deadline to contact Gondor and gather intel, coinciding with the time frame of Mio's impending fate. That night, Uni finds herself restless, unable to sleep. Compelled by an unspoken curiosity, she ventures down to where the cradles are located. Mesmerized, she gazes into young Ethel's tank, and suddenly, a vision of Uni's own husk enters her mind. In a serendipitous encounter, Monica crosses paths with Uni, intuitively sensing Uni's connection to her own husk. Intrigued, Uni questions how Monica knew, prompting Monica to astutely remark that it appeared as though Uni was peering into her own past. Uni wonders aloud why they don't awaken the souls within the tanks. Monica explains that this is their battle, and they're not sure how long the fighting will be. Instead, Monica emphasizes the importance of people understanding the stories of those in the tanks, recognizing the sacrifices made for posterity. Expressing a desire to awaken these souls in a world with a fighting chance, Monica addresses Uni's question about discovering one's true self. Monica urges Uni to focus on the present and the future, assuring her that the husk she saw isn't her true self. Monica encourages Uni to look ahead, envisioning a future where she can shape her identity and become whoever she aspires to be. As Mio and Tyon soak in the breathtaking seascape, Tyon reveals the other half of his purpose for traveling with the group. In a moment of sincerity, he confesses that it revolves around Mio. Tyon has an inkling that Mio desires to make a lasting impact on both the group and the world. Despite the harsh reality of Mio's limited time, with just over a month remaining, Tyon expresses a genuine wish to extend it, if it was within his power. Notably, he emphasizes that this sentiment extends beyond himself, resonating among the entire group. In the next scene, Shania approaches Senna as she's training. Shania seems kind of surprised that Ouroboros trains as well. Intrigued, Shania further explores the dynamic between Senna and Mio, questioning if they share a friendship. Senna reveals that Mio holds a significant place in her life, akin to a role model. Now, having encountered the Lost Numbers, she has gained a deeper understanding of life's essence. Shania then goes into a rant about how their life is natural, asking why they should swing their blades around without a hope of winning. She adds that it's better to die and be born again in Mobius' cycle. And then she's like, I'm just playing. Senna, I think this would be a good time to tell someone Shania is probably going to betray you guys. The group eventually reaches the prison camp, coming face to face with Gondor, who appears to have some anger issues. Senna quips that she never thought she'd encounter someone who could outdo Uni's colorful language, prompting a cautionary remark for Mio to not copy her.
Oh, wow. Ways to talk trash about one of your friends.
Noah informs Gundor that they were sent to seek her out to uncover the whereabouts of the queens. However, instead of providing information, Gundor decides she wants to fight them. Amidst their battle, Gundor's amulet unexpectedly begins to glow. To everyone's surprise, it's revealed that Gundor is not only Monica's daughter, but also the leading candidate of Ouroboros. It all makes sense now. Also, what kind of jail allows prisoners to keep their weapons? Couldn't they just fight their way out? Anyways, Gundor is kind of a pain, and I'm not just talking about her voice.
Huh? Cut the crap. Any lights on in there, you dead brain? You got something to say? Say it to my face.
Okay, maybe mostly her voice. Mio delivers a heartfelt speech. Her words manage to sway Gundor, who decides to assist them. Gundor gives them the amulet, granting access to Cloud Keep, where the true Queen of Agnes awaits. Gundor explains the plan, which essentially boils down to fighting. Not really a plan, but hey, if it works, solid. Lance and Senna have a deep conversation. Senna, feeling a bit of jealousy, confesses to Lance that she envies the unwavering confidence he, Mio, and Noah exude. Lance shares that his outward self-assurance is merely a facade, concealing inner insecurities. He challenges societal norms by asserting that vulnerability isn't a weakness, but an opportunity for growth. Drawing on Senna's past transformation into Ouroboros, Lance emphasizes the strength found in reaching out for support when needed. Reflecting on their friend Joran's transformation into Mobius, Lance rejects the idea of accepting a predefined purpose and expresses a desire to explore the true meaning of his own life. He declares his intention to grow stronger for personal fulfillment, not external validation. Lance encourages Senna to embrace their authentic selves, regardless of what other people think. Expressing admiration for Lance's clarity, Senna asks if she can adopt his mindset, and Lance warmly agrees, emphasizing that true friends don't need permission. As Senna and Gundor encounter Shania, an unmistakable air of tension hangs between them. The source of this discord becomes apparent as the story unfolds. Shania, it seems, had been trailing Gundor persistently, mimicking her every move in a manner that has earned Gundor's strong disapproval. Gundor's disdain is palpable, as she frequently admonishes Shania for her imitative behavior. Jesus, no wonder why she's totally gonna betray them. As night falls, the group prepares for their daring escape. Senna and Lance synergize their abilities to forcefully breach a door. However, their path is abruptly interrupted as they are ambushed by castle guards. The tables turn when Shania unveils herself as the informant. Called it. Amidst the chaos, Noah experiences another headache, and the mysterious figures N&M make a sudden appearance. Shania seizes the moment to deliver a disdainful speech, condemning Gundor, the city, and all perceived pawns in a system devoid of empathy. Senna, however, stands firm, asserting her newfound sense of belonging to the team and expressing a determination to not only change herself but also the world. Shania opposes this vision, advocating for a shift away from the city's rigid natural order toward a world akin to Mobius, where everyone gets a second chance at life. In a strategic move, Noah returns the doodah to Gundor, instructing her to escape while they create a diversion. The ensuing battle unfolds, with the group taking on a substantial portion of the Agnes forces to facilitate Gundor and the other candidates' escape. Yet the situation intensifies as N&M confront the group, and a tense standoff ensues between Meal and their doppelganger M. The confrontation takes a surprising turn when it's revealed that M possesses the ability to control minds, leading to a chaotic skirmish among the Ouroboros entities. During the battle, Tyon devises a method to identify the possessed individuals, discovering that the only way to harm M is by striking the body she controls. The group is able to defeat and hold M back. However, the conflict reaches its peak as N unleashes a relentless assault on the group, tearing them apart in their Ouroboros forms. Senna and Lance, facing an imminent demise, resolve to push their Ouroboros form beyond its time limit in a desperate attempt to take N down with them, culminating in a high-stakes and emotionally charged climax. However, Console X intervenes just in time, preventing Senna and Lance from meeting a fiery demise. Rather than swiftly finishing them off, N decides to imprison them all, envisioning a grand spectacle. I guess N doesn't watch a lot of shows or movies to know what's going to happen here. Noah receives a visit from N, who's pretty smug about his victory. It's like when you're playing against toxic players who think they've won the game. N reveals the sideshow mentioned earlier is none other than the homecoming. With the eclipse looming just a month away, Meal's fate hangs in the balance. N adds that those who meet their end during the homecoming will not experience a return. And who Who hurt you? Shania comes to visit as well, revealing the day of Mio's homecoming is the day she has chosen to meet her own end, transforming into Mobius. Senna, with her questionable instincts, has sensed something amiss about Shania. Yeah, Senna, I think the rant Shania went on earlier in the chapter was a clear indication that something was off. She didn't want to believe they were the same, and Mio says they aren't. Expressing gratitude, Mio acknowledges Senna's bravery in saving them multiple times, and credits her for playing a pivotal role in their current situation. Mio also addresses Senna's tendency to be hard on herself, attributing it to her relentless pursuit of more. The group contemplates the uncanny resemblance between N, M, Noah, and Mio, speculating that it could be linked to the cradles at birth. Despite Senna's conjecture about this connection, Tyon raises questions about N and M's motives, expressing a sense that they are merely toying with them. Uni observes that Mobius seems to derive satisfaction from their actions. I guess being Mobius comes with major job satisfaction. Riku challenges this notion by pointing out the contradiction in N's demeanor, who had sadness in his eyes. Lance is like, nah, F that. Senna, grappling with the existential aspect of their endeavors, questions the purpose of it all. In response, Noah asserts that their actions have a profound significance, offering hope to everyone they've encountered. While Noah's still trying to break out, Mio tells him to stop. She urges Noah not to fret over her, emphasizing that she's come to terms with her fate. Reminiscing about a past conversation, Mio recalls Noah asking her if she wanted to survive, to which she had nonchalantly responded that she didn't mind either way. Mio revisits her answer, expressing a newfound desire to live. She shares with Noah the multitude of experiences awaiting them and the life they have yet to explore together. Noah, touched by her words, notes with surprise that Mio has finally addressed him by his name. Wait, really? She never said his name? Has anyone else noticed that, or was it just me? Mio apologizes, confessing that acknowledging his name would unveil the emotions concealed within her. She tells Noah that's why he's not allowed to say it's been for nothing, asserting that he has enriched her life. Mio doesn't want this to be it, and if she was given the choice to keep on going, she'd like to spend that time with her Noah. Alright, who's cutting onions in here? The day of reckoning arrives with the looming eclipse. The Queen of Agnes takes the stage. Riku questions Noah about why he hasn't used Lucky 7. Noah, right now I'd say is a pretty good time to use it. Mio ascends the stairs toward the queen. Meanwhile, N hands Noah his flute, instructing him to bid her farewell. Oh, N, who hurt you? Okay, I'm sure Gondor will make her entrance anytime now. Gondor? What the f? Okay, well that just happened. Anne raises the sword and executes Noah, abruptly ending the game. As chapter 6 unfolds, Noah stands gazing down at his lifeless form. Enveloped in an ethereal mist, he encounters a younger incarnation of himself who serves as a guide. A torrent of memories cascades forth, each revealing Noah's past struggles against a relentless adversary, Mobius. In one iteration, he even shares parenthood with Mio, yet in every scenario, Noah succumbs to the defeat of Mobius and the loss of Mio. Finally, Noah reaches a decision where he surrenders to Zed, who promises him an eternal existence alongside Mio. Thus, they become Mobius, and N and M are born, forging an everlasting present. Young Noah then asks older Noah if he still wants time to stop, and also asks why it is that he exists. At first, Noah attributes his existence to the pursuit of understanding the unexplainable smiles of his friends before their tragic demise. However, he realizes that those smiles stem from contentment with their fates. Although, it breaks his heart that was the only smile they could choose. The world they live in now doesn't give them the choice to smile, and so because of that, Noah wants to rip the world apart in order to repay those smiles. Noah ends up not making the same decision as Consul N, even if it means that he ends up all alone. Turns out, young Noah is actually Mio in disguise, and tells Noah to walk with her. Returning to the present moment, N is abruptly halted by M's controlling ability. M gracefully approaches Noah, presenting him with Mio's flute, and asks him whether he will continue to walk alongside her. In a surprising turn of events, it's revealed that M is in fact Mio. Through a clandestine maneuver, M exchanged minds with Mio, sacrificing herself and Mio's stead while allowing Mio to persist in M's body. Before her demise, M shared her memories with Mio, depicting the group as her act of repentance and expressing her vision for their shared aspirations. M emphasizes that the group embodies the collective hopes and dreams for a better world, yearning for an end to the Mobius cycle. Trusting Mio and Noah to tread the path they were meant to follow, she leaves the fate of their journey in their hands. Amidst N's disbelief and fury, he disregards the pleas of the group, leaving them with no alternative but to fight. The clash unfolds fiercely, and Noah's Ouroboros form successfully pulls the Sword of Origin from his chest, wielding it to deliver a fatal blow to N. Despite Mio's heartfelt attempt to reach N, he remains unswayed. Consul X deploys the fake Queen of Agnes to assail the group. The Queen unleashes havoc, but the group manages to obliterate her with a single decisive strike, liberating the imprisoned soldiers in the castle. Yet, X has one more surprise up her sleeve, unveiling another Annihilator. Its target, the city, whose location was leaked by Shania. As X and N make their exit, the super weapon devastates the city. As Shania smiles in approval. However, Mio reassures the group, revealing that she had warned the city's inhabitants while they were in captivity. Thunder finally makes her appearance.
Yes, he's back, bitches!
No! It turns out the city is also a Pharaonis that moved deeper into the earth for protection, which spells trouble for the traitorous Shania. Honestly, I felt kind of bad for Shania, even though she almost killed a lot of innocent people. With nowhere to run, Shania decides to bring an end to her own life. Geez, all this happens around the first 45 minutes of the chapter. Anyways, with everything calming down now, Mio leads the group to the remnants of the once thriving city. It's here that she unveils Zed's sinister command for N to destroy everyone. Despite N's initial resistance, Zed ruthlessly threatens M's existence, compelling N to carry out the unthinkable. In the aftermath, M seeks an explanation from N, who reveals that this dark act was the key to their transformation into Mobius beings. Fast forward to the present, Noah says repentance and the intentions N and M left behind turned into them. Now united by a newfound purpose, the group sets their sights on a daunting objective, putting an end to Zed, that gigantic piece of shit. Mio tells the group the Queen of Agnes is located at Cloud Keep. With the key obtained from Gondor, the group embarks on a journey to their new location, hopeful that it holds the key to defeating Mobius. However, when they arrive, they find nothing. The group is at a loss, but Mio's like, don't worry about it, and uses the key to reveal Cloud Keep. They then arrive at a colossal chamber where Mio uses the key again, unveiling Queen Nia within the stasis tube. As Queen Nia begins to wake up, a projectile from Mobius penetrates her body, and she goes back to sleep. Man, that D character really likes his cheap shots. D and J make their presence known, tracing the group's movements due to Mio's lingering Mobius connection. Although the group was able to defeat N earlier, I wonder what makes D and J think they have a chance against these guys. Cocky duo for sure. Lance confronts Joran, asking him if he's still determined to be their enemy, to which he says, yeah, I'm Mobius, duh. Lance asks Joran why he traded his life for his. Joran tells Lance that his past version thought maybe if he died instead of him, it would please him. Joran continues on to say each version of himself was pathetic, but now as Mobius, he has surpassed them all. Despite their enhanced Mobius forms, the group manages to defeat both D and J, leaving D unconscious and J in a state of self-loathing. Joran tells the group he only wanted to get their approval, so he thought the only way he could do that was to sacrifice his life. Now that he's Mobius, he can become what he's always aspired to be. Noah calls BS, saying that if Joran thinks he's happy being this way, then he's lying to no one but himself. However, on the day when he sacrificed his life for Lance, Noah points out to Joran that he made it and showed his true self, and by saving Lance he was able to spread his true wings. As the group offers positive reinforcement, the moment is shattered by D's intervention. He forces Joran into merging with him, revealing his past psychotic nature and unsettling head collection. This sparks a climactic final battle against D. The group inflicts substantial damage, yet D remains resilient. In a surprising turn, Joran chooses to defy D, opting to be different this time by sacrificing himself for his friends once again. The screen fades to white, transitioning to a scene where Lance, Uni, Noah, and Joran revert to their childhood forms. It starts off the same as chapter 1, where Lance gets angry with Joran when they lose the trials, but in this instance Lance gets to apologize, with the two best friends saying the next time they meet, they'll win for sure. With that, D and J explode as they fall off the cliff. In chapter 7, D and J are vanquished, and the group redirects their focus towards the queen, uncertain of their next move. Suddenly, Nia stirs awake, but is in a bit of pain. And if you ever wondered what stunned stuttering sounds like, this is it.
What?
Amidst the surreal atmosphere, Nia is alive and kicking and confidently strides towards the party, confirming the success of her plan. She introduces herself as Nia, the Queen of Agnes and one wing of Ionios. Nia provides a much-needed exposition, unraveling the complex web of events because I have no idea what the heck is going on. She reveals that one universe was split into two, which would inevitably reunite and destroy each other. The inhabitants managed to establish communication and work on a way to save themselves. The result was Origin, an arc designed to survive the cataclysm and reboot both worlds. However, Zed intervened, freezing the intersection in time to impose an eternal existence. His motives were clear: capture Melia to access the memories of Origin so he could gain control of it. Nia, in response, crafted the Ouroboros stones, drawing power from her core crystal and the key to Origin. At the same time, Noah's Sword of the End materialized as a fusion of Melia and Origin. Yet, Neo reveals that these artifacts are mere facades, with the true essence lying within the group. Tasked with a monumental mission, Nia urges the party to infiltrate Origin and liberate the Kavesi Queen and the entire world from the clutches of Zed. No pressure. She discloses the hidden location of Origin beneath a vortex in the sea. Unfortunately, the Queen embarrassingly states she has no idea how to reach Origin. This prompts Noah to recall Mr. Salmon, who had blueprints of an ultimate vessel that he boasted could penetrate the raging vortex. They live for the city, but before they do, Noah thanks Neo for the help, and Mio bows before her. Neo's like, okay. As the group embarks across the vast expanse of the Great Sea, accompanied by an escort of vessels from the city, an air of tension permeates the atmosphere. Heck, even Manana is nervous. Meanwhile, within the confines of a theater, Zed observes their approach, even though it looks like he's about to fall asleep. The party reaches the outskirts of Origin, only to be met with a relentless barrage as a colossal entity wreaks havoc on everything in its sight. Shockingly, Mobius even starts attacking colonies that haven't been freed by the Flame Clock. The group is like, why are they doing this? But as Mio points out, as long as they have Origin, they can keep on making more of them. With the final flicker of light, Mobius envisions a fresh start, free from the influence of Ouroboros. Noah and the gang are able to punch a hole in Origin and descend down to its depths. The group finally makes it inside Origin, where Senna points out that the metal is the same as Noah's sword. Mio also adds an eerie remark about how she feels Mobius is close around them, but also far away. Noah's sword starts reacting and points them into a certain direction down below. In a colossal chamber, the party finally encounters the imprisoned Melia, ensnared in a web of cables. As Noah moves to free her, En enters the scene, refusing to relinquish Melia, and reveals her pivotal role as the fulcrum of Origin. With no alternative, the group is thrust into a climactic showdown against En. After a hard-fought victory, Noah confronts En about the senseless massacre of the city's inhabitants in the past. En callously dismisses them as inconsequential to Mobius. Then Noah brings up En's Mio, who then becomes upset, blaming Noah for him not being strong enough to protect her, but really he's just talking about himself. Noah asks En why he keeps punishing himself, telling En that by clinging to the past obsessively, he has become regret itself. Noah also adds that En felt regret too, however she had hopes for the future, which is why she left everything to Mio. Mio adds M's desire for eternal companionship with En. She wanted him to go back to the name Noah, and she wanted him to call her Mio. En asks why they're the ones that send together, to which Noah says it's just based on luck. He continues on saying that everyone he has ever met has shaped him and changed him into the person he is now, and thanks to them he can change the future. Despite En's skepticism and warning of uncertain survival if he were to restore the world, Noah remains resolute in his quest to reshape the future. Inviting En to join him, Noah extends a hand, and as En touches it, the screen fades to white. The scene shifts to En traversing on a single path where we can assume he's finally found peace, leaving Noah with the merged Ouroboros and Mobius symbols in his eye, the same as Mio when M sacrificed her life for her. At last, Melia awakes, describing as if she had been trapped in a dream. She proceeds to unravel the mystery surrounding Zed, portraying him not as a mere individual, but rather as a conceptual embodiment. Melia elucidates the genesis of Zed, born from the culmination of universal uncertainties and fears, taking on a human semblance. Diverging from others who were endowed with Mobius bodies, Zed stands as a genuine Mobius. Melia discloses that Ionios exists in a timeless stasis, a consequence of the Mobius wish for an unending present. This revelation prompts Tyon to ponder the nature of reality itself, whether everything that exists is genuinely real. Melia reassures them, affirming that the entirety of existence constitutes reality. Moreover, she reveals the location of Zed's presence, the nucleus of Origin, lying below their current location. As the group forges ahead, Melia opts to return to the castle, vowing to release the soldiers enslaved by the Flame Clock's enchantment. Senna's like, won't you need an escort? But Melia's like, don't you know who I am? At last, the group confronts Zed, who questions why they resist the natural flow of existence. To which Noah's like, I don't know, I can't recall. Zed presses on, inquiring whether they've come to halt the relentless march of time, frozen in perpetual stasis. A notion that prompts both me and Lance asking,
So is it flowing or is it stopped? You're not making any sense, mate.
Zed likens human desires to a ceaseless river, calling it the endless now, the very essence that has brought him to this pivotal moment. Noah, reflecting on their journey, declares an understanding of the significance of true choice and wants to shape a world defined by the freedom to choose. Noah thrusts Lucky 7 into the ground, shattering the illusion of the theater and prompting Z to transform into a big, purple, disembodied head. The battlefield undergoes a dramatic transformation, lifting out of Origin as its upper half morphs into a more mechanized form, unleashing destruction upon everything in its path. In response, Melia and Nia disable all flame clocks and activate their castles, morphing them into towering mechs. With these colossal constructs, they fiercely engage Origin in a battle for survival. It's in this climactic moment that the group begins to grasp the essence of Mobius and the relentless pursuit of the endless now. The revelation strikes a chord within them. Each harbors a fragment of Mobius, their own fears obstructing the path to the future. The only recourse is to believe in themselves and the promise of the future that awaits. Zed's actions become increasingly erratic as he begins to implode. Yet, amidst the chaos, the spirits of N&M manifest, emerging from Noah and Mio respectively, and explains their origin. Conceived from regret in contrast to Noah and Mio, who originated from hope, M admits to never striving for self-change, but rather yearning for a transformation in the world around them. They reveal that their prolonged existence has only fortified those ensnared within this frozen moment, leaving but one viable option. They clarify the entity before them is not merely Zed or Mobius, but an embodiment of an intense desire. Thoughts prove futile against such a force, hence the responsibility to vanquish it falls solely upon those who embody that very same desire. Noah and Mio plead for N&M to reconsider, proposing an alternative path that would allow them to be together. Ultimately, they make the sacrificial choice to deliver the decisive blow, sealing the fate of the intense desire that threatened their reality. Zed is defeated and the Mobius cycle is finally coming to an end, but now the group must deal with an uncertain future. Looking back, the group understands the motives of Mobius, and yet they remind themselves that even though change can be scary, it's important to remember to always stay true to yourself no matter what happens. Nia says the flow of time will restart, but they could still change their minds if they act now. Lance is like, nah, you did not just ask us to become Mobius. Noah, however, says some want to go on and some want to stay, questioning whether anyone has the right to make that kind of decision. Gondor offers reassurance, urging them to make the choice that feels right. Mio tells Noah they all want the same thing and it's how the future should be. Melia imparts a final charge, urging belief in their actions, in their friendships, and above all, in themselves. Noah's like, well, in that case, the answer is simple. So Noah chucks the sword of the end into the ocean. Man, he could have at least given Lucky 7 back to Riku before tossing it. The couple share one last moment together. Lance and Senna banter a little bit where Senna tells Lancey they were a passable duo, to which Lance is like, you mean unsurpassable? Senna tells Lance she'll train every day, thinking of him, to which Lance says he will as well, and Senna starts crying. We now move on to Time, playing it smooth, handing Uni an herbal tea recipe he made using paper and ink from her world. However, she completely decimates him by telling him that he's her fourth best bud, to which he starts spiraling out of control a little bit. What the heck? Who are all these people? I don't remember them being in the game. Noah and Mio finally embrace, pledging eternal connection across different worlds. The world begins to split and the group races towards each other in a desperate attempt to stay together, ultimately separated by the vast expanse of the ocean. Drifting apart, Noah and Mio make a heartfelt promise to reunite someday. As time resumes, the narrative returns to the game's beginning, with a young Noah looking at the sky, now devoid of colliding worlds, suggesting Origin's success. Before rejoining his friends, Noah follows the haunting melody of flutes, disappearing behind a flock of birds. Although I'm not really a fan of games or movie endings left for us to interpret, I still have an appreciation for the story as a whole. So what was the game about? Surely a group of people who got powers to save the fate of a universe from the bad guys, but it was definitely a lot more than that. It dealt with issues that we all face, such as guilt, regret, and despair, but also hope and the importance of the freedom of choice. What happened in the past doesn't matter, and all we can do is accept where we are in the present and just look to the future. I think Noah puts it best here.
Roads stretch out before us. So many paths. Which do you choose? That's up to you. Sometimes you might run astray. You'll stop, maybe cry in frustration. But you know, that's all right. For the roads, they go on without end. So look up, face forward, toward your chosen horizon. And just walk on.